Welcome to my channel. Try to hear the latest story.
My partner disposed of my deceased grandfather's vintage Mustang during my workday to finance her social media getaway. She messaged me an image of her latest luxury purse, stating, "Spoiling myself." I responded, "Nice, it'll come in handy for the lawsuit." Then I deactivated her credit cards and filed a theft report for the vehicle. I'm in my garage now, gazing at the vacant area where my grandfather's automobile once stood. It's a 1967 Ford Mustang, vibrant crimson, and it meant everything to him. He bequeathed it to me upon his death 3 years back, and I've dedicated almost every weekend since to maintaining it. It wasn't merely a vehicle. It was my final tangible link to him. The aroma of aged leather and fuel evoked memories of my youth. Just yesterday, that spot was occupied. Today, it's only some grease marks on the floor and a massive void in my existence. My girlfriend, Jenna, 33, and I have shared a relationship for 4 years, cohabiting in my home for the past 2. I'm 36, running a modest construction firm, and I labor manually. Jenna creates content for online platforms, which essentially involves photographing high-end items and sharing them digitally. I didn't fully comprehend it, but I backed her pursuits. I covered the housing costs and utilities so she could concentrate on growing her online presence. In hindsight, I was naive, completely oblivious. The warnings were evident. She often referred to the Mustang as that rusty relic and grumbled about its garage occupancy. She'd question why I squandered my free time fiddling with scrap rather than joining her for meals out. I always dismissed it. I assumed she was simply unique, that she failed to grasp the emotional significance. I never envisioned she'd commit such an act. This morning, I departed for a work location at 6 a.m. Like any typical day, Jenna remained in bed. At midday, my device notified me. It was a photo from her. She was standing before an upscale hotel entrance, clutching a fresh high-fashion handbag worth more than my monthly home loan. The message said, "At last indulging in something special. This content creator lifestyle is succeeding." I simply answered, "Appears good." I was occupied, overseeing a cement delivery prior to the downpour. I didn't dwell on it. I returned home near 7 p.m., fatigued and dusty. The residence was silent. I assumed Jenna was socializing with pals, toasting her recent purchase or similar. I bathed, prepared a meal, and headed to the garage to adjust the Mustang's fuel system for a bit before sleep. And it had vanished. My initial reaction was bewilderment. My brain struggled to accept the bare spot. I considered it might have been taken. I rushed indoors, pulse racing, prepared to alert authorities. That's when I noticed the envelope on the counter. My name appeared on it in Jenna's curly script. Inside wasn't correspondence. It was a check for $5,000 and a brief scribbled memo. "Hi, love. An incredible chance arose for a promotional journey to Miami, but I lacked cash. I know you've wanted to declutter the garage regardless, so I handled it on your behalf. A contact of my acquaintance purchases antique vehicles and offered a solid price, using the funds for the excursion and my new accessory. I even set aside some of the earnings for you. Back in 7 days. Affection, J." I reviewed it thrice. The text blurred before me. She had traded my grandfather's automobile for a vacation, for a purse, and she believed providing me $5,000, a tiny portion of its true worth, would suffice. An inner part of me didn't merely fracture. It froze solid. The pain existed, profound and burdensome, but outwardly, I experienced a frigid, precise focus. This wasn't a mix-up. This was treachery of an unimaginable degree. I returned to the kitchen, grabbed my phone, and viewed the image she'd sent once more. At last indulging in something special, I composed a fresh response. "Nice. It'll come in handy for the lawsuit." Then I took 3 actions. First, I contacted my financial institution. I declared all our shared credit cards as missing. I described how my companion had executed a major unauthorized deal and departed the area. They promptly suspended the accounts. Her entry to my finances ceased. Second, I dialed the non-urgent police number and declared the vehicle stolen. I detailed that my girlfriend had liquidated it without approval, that ownership was exclusively mine, and that I possessed her handwritten admission. They treated my statement gravely and initiated a probe. Third, I accessed her online profiles. There they were. Her accounts overflowed with snapshots from Miami. Her and her similarly superficial companions sipping drinks at an elevated lounge. modeling on the shore. She'd mentioned the company allegedly funding her trip. Out of interest, I messaged the company courteously inquiring about their partnership with Jenna. Shortly after, they answered, "We lack any details on this individual. We don't collaborate with creators of such limited audience." This seems like a fabricated sponsorship. So she fabricated that as well. She exchanged a fragment of my heritage, a segment of my essence, for a phony holiday to dazzle virtual strangers. I gathered all her possessions into garbage sacks. Her upscale attire, her cosmetics, her lighting equipment, everything. It's all positioned near the entrance. I've summoned a key specialist already. He's en route to replace the locks on my property. She anticipates returning in a week. She's unaware that her former existence here has evaporated. She didn't simply liquidate a vehicle. She liquidated our tomorrow. And now she'll face the repercussions. 2 days on, the past 48 hours have blurred with documents and unyielding rage. Appreciate the feedback and notes. It's reassuring to confirm I'm not irrational for this response. The key expert arrived and departed that initial evening. The sensation of engaging that fresh lock, realizing her key became obsolete, ranked among the most gratifying experiences I've known. The phone calls commenced the following morning. Around 10 a.m., I was at my attorney's firm, reviewing the unauthorized transaction specifics. My phone sounded. It was Jenna. I allowed it to voicemail. Soon, a desperate recording arrived. "Mark, what's happening? My card was rejected at the lodging. I attempted another and it failed too. This is mortifying. Respond immediately." I didn't. Rather, I shared the message with my attorney, who laughed heartily. He affirmed that with the title solely mine and her manual confession, we held a robust claim for serious theft and deception. Authorities had input the vehicle's identification into the nationwide stolen auto system. The major drama unfolded roughly 6 hours afterward. I received a call from an unfamiliar number. It was one of her associates, Tiffany, the one who evidently knew a person dealing in vintage autos. "Mark, what's your issue?" she yelled. "Jenna is stuck. The hotel evicted her due to payment failure. You can't abruptly sever her like that." I maintained composure. "Tiffany, you aided in the misappropriation and disposal of my asset. Be cautious with your next words. Law enforcement lists you as involved in an ongoing inquiry." The quiet on the line was exquisite. I could sense her mind racing as she grasped her predicament. She stuttered about ignorance and disconnected. Jenna's online updates halted suddenly. The elegant Miami scenes gave way to emptiness. I can picture the alarm escalating. No funds, no accommodation, and her companions probably retreating, avoiding entanglement in a legal matter. This morning, another event unfolded. An investigator contacted me. They traced the vehicle. Evidently, Tiffany's contact was a dubious, unregistered trader operating from a storage facility. He acquired the Mustang for $15,000 cash, without scrutiny, as Jenna provided a duplicate of prior paperwork and a tale of fleeing a harmful partner. She imitated my signature on a transfer document. The trader, confronting his own troubles for handling pilfered goods, had resold the car to a reputable antique auto enthusiast elsewhere. The investigator noted it was complicated, but they pursued retrieval. He mentioned a detention order for Jenna on accusations of major vehicle theft and imitation. The highlight? Since she utilized postal services for the falsified papers, federal accusations might apply. My attorney suggested one last official notice. I composed an email copying my lawyer. "Jenna, I've learned you disposed of my 1967 Ford Mustang, registered only to me without authorization. You confessed this in a penned note. I've declared it stolen, and I'm informed of your arrest warrant. I've also blocked shared financial resources as you employed them to enable your departure post-felony. Your items are boxed and relocating to storage. You may organize a neutral party to collect them after addressing your legal matters. Avoid contacting me. All subsequent exchanges via my counsel. I transmitted it recently. No response yet. Her folks phoned earlier. Her mom wept, questioning my actions toward her, my harshness in pursuing her arrest. I posed a direct query. Did you teach your child it's acceptable to pilfer from those who care for her? She lacked a reply. She repeated I was destroying Jenna's future. No, I stated, tone icy. She's demolishing her own path. I'm merely facilitating the fallout. I ended the call. The sacks of belongings are removed. Now in storage. I prepaid for a month. My home seems tranquil. It belongs to me once more. This isn't concluded. but for the first occasion in ages, I sense command over my destiny. Update 1 week on. Over a week has passed since discovering the vehicle. The calm in my residence has been restorative. I've utilized the period tidying, arranging, and reclaiming my area. I rearranged my repair gear in the garage, occupying the bare zone of the Mustang. It still aches to view, but it resembles a healed mark more than a fresh injury. The judicial proceedings advance quicker than anticipated. Jenna, grasping no escape, surrendered to authorities in Miami. Her parents traveled to secure her release. Per my attorney, she confronts grave accusations, and the prosecutor shows no mercy, particularly due to the deliberate crime and falsification. The defamation effort I foresaw has launched, but it's comically futile. Certain of her online peers posted ambiguous remarks about harmful males and economic control, attempting to depict me as the antagonist who abandoned his blameless partner without cause. Failed. I avoided public retorts, yet facts emerge. The account of her taking and trading a classic auto for a bogus holiday is too distinctive, too outrageous to twist otherwise. Acquaintances familiar with me, aware of my attachment to the vehicle and grandfather, instantly recognized her narrative as absurdity. The sparse shared contacts who approached received the plain, honest details. Most expressed shock for me. Jenna's parents attempted mediation anew. Her dad, a person who never offered me respect, phoned and proposed resolution. His idea of resolution was me contacting the prosecutor to withdraw charges. In exchange, he'd compensate for the vehicle. I inquired his valuation of the car. He boldly claimed she received $15,000, so perhaps $20,000 including extras. I chuckled, genuinely aloud. That vehicle, in its restoration phase, was modestly estimated above $50,000. Completed nearer $80,000. But its personal worth is beyond your comprehension. Thus no charges remain. He began shouting, labeling me unappreciative, asserting I discarded a 4-year bond over a foolish auto. Correct, I replied. I am discarding a 4-year bond. But not due to an auto. It's because your offspring is a pilferer and deceiver who prizes a purse above my lineage, my faith, and my affection. The auto was merely the tool she wielded to demonstrate it. I disconnected prior to his reply. The finest progress occurred yesterday. The antique auto aficionado who obtained the Mustang was reached by officials. He's affluent, devoted to automobiles, and guards his standing. He was outraged at acquiring stolen property and proved highly helpful. He employs his own legal team, now pursuing the unregistered trader who supplied it. That trader, consequently, is betraying Jenna and Tiffany, agreeing to witness against them for reduced penalties on his illicit operations. It's a splendid chain of repercussions. My attorney trusts we'll recover the vehicle. There's presently evidence, but ownership is undisputed. Merely awaiting time. I got mail yesterday. From Jenna, dispatched from her folks' place. It spans 6 sheets, packed with justifications and accusations. She was overwhelmed. She sensed overlooked. I constantly labored. I undervalued her. The journey offered autonomy. She believed I'd admire her ingenuity. She never anticipated this response. Nowhere in those sheets did she pen, "I apologize." It centered on how my actions harmed her. Her image tarnished. Possible incarceration. All my blame for exaggeration. I abstained from answering. I merely appended the document to my attorney's expanding dossier. She remains clueless. She still views herself as the injured party. Certain individuals can't perceive the destruction they cause. They depart the blaze and gripe about the haze. Concluding update 3 months on. 3 months have elapsed, and matters have resolved. I'm composing this from my garage, and for what seems an age, I'm not facing vacancy. The Mustang is returned. Retrieving it proved challenging. It traveled from distant states, with slight harm from transport, but it's present. It's mine. When the delivery vehicle arrived at my drive and released that splendid machine, I experienced serenity absent for years. Concluded. I prevailed. The court fight wrapped not dramatically, but via agreement. Confronted with irrefutable proof, the confession, the imitated transfer, statements from the traitor and Tiffany, who swiftly betrayed her to preserve herself. Jenna lacked options. She admitted guilt to serious theft and imitation. She evaded prison, which initially infuriated me, but her punishment was stringent otherwise. She received 5 years supervision, a lasting criminal mark, 200 service hours, and mandated complete repayment. Not the $15,000 she gained, but the judicial assessment of $55,000. Her dad covered it. He required additional home financing for that payment. The expression when delivering it to my attorney was, reportedly, utter defeated pride. That payment symbolized not solely the vehicle's cost, but the full price of his child's selfishness. Jenna's existence, from reports, has fully collapsed. Her content career is laughable. The arrest and guilty plea turned into minor regional coverage. Details embarrassing. Her persona now links eternally to stealing and trickery. Her digital space is deserted. Her associates, notably Tiffany, deserted her. She liquidated the luxury purses and outfits for legal costs. She's residing with parents, employed in store sales. Poetic fairness exists there. The lady who traded my essence's fragment for opulence now arranges garments for low pay. I never conversed with her since. Her counsel sought a session for personal regret, probably to influence my sentencing input. I declined. Regret lacking responsibility is mere control. I had no further words. I applied the compensation to complete the Mustang's overhaul. I engaged the top facility statewide for exterior and coating, and weekends rebuilding the motor. It's lovelier than my grandfather imagined. Each ignition and engine rumble signifies triumph. It represents that sturdy bases withstand breakage. My existence improves now, calmer, truer. I've begun seeing someone fresh. A lady who inquires about the vehicle and hears with true curiosity. A lady who comprehends some items exceed monetary value.